My name is James Williams Jr. Yes, this is Comfort Havoc number 2, and that was some great fucking tea. This is the third video of integrity check for you women. I'm gonna try to make this the final video, because when I left off, I probably said some things that was incredibly offensive. But to be honest with you, from the very first 2 integrity check videos for everyone, and specifically for the women, I have said things to purposely piss you the fuck off. You know why? People actually listen better when they're pissed. They listen better, they do better, they respond better, and they think before they act. They think before they act. They grasp concepts better. They absorb what needs to be absorbed, and then they do what they need to do when it comes to doing the right or the wrong thing. The problem with us people, especially us men towards our daughters, is that we don't want to be soft. We don't want to teach our daughters how to be women. Women that can be respected. Women who can be loved for more than just their pussy, but their brains. Teach them how to walk around proud. And I ain't talking about, like, I don't have tennis balls, like, to put in my shirt to make me have, like, big bustiers and shit. But, you know, you walk around as a woman and be proud, chest out, but not, like, in a sexual manner, like military. Chest out, you know, and respectful of themselves and of the future life that they may want. A lot of people don't want to come into already made family relationships. I'm one of those people who don't want to come into an already made family. I don't. Now, I will say this. As a man, I respect any man that can do that. Alright? Let me tell you why. I know brothers that have done that. I got family members that have done that. I respect that shit. Because that's fucking showing that woman that you do love her. And you accept her children. Now, you're going to have to be an adjustment problem. But eventually, it'll come together with that child is your child. Because that's how it's supposed to be. I have never really totally fucked up anything in my life. You know, except for my life itself. But I've always done my best to look out. Damn. Sorry. Cute women on TV. I have always done my best to be respectful of women. Now, let me explain that real quick so y'all won't think that I'm a fucking sissy. Or so that it doesn't get weird. Like it's not weird enough already. I try to treat women as a purpose. I try to treat women how I would want to be treated if I was a woman. No, I don't disrespect them. I don't call them bitches. I don't call them whores. I don't call them out their fucking name. I might cuss a little bit, but usually it's not directed at them. It's just directed at like at that day. I'm a cusser. I'm sorry. If you know who I am, if you've been watching me for the 3 or 4 years that I've been posting up videos on YouTube, post Army and after, you know, I cuss. I cuss all the damn time. It's not something that I'm proud of. It's like a trigger mechanism that just kind of fucking happens. So, you know, but in any relationship that I've ever been in, I have been angered by women. I have flipped the fuck out by women. But I've never put my hands on them. And I've never called them out their names. Now, granted, I will be honest. I'm not going to deny shit. I have called my sisters the B word on many fucking levels. Even a cellular level. I have called them that from the age of 7 to maybe 27. Granted, some of them have earned that right and well deserved because some of them have made some really bitchified ass decisions that didn't just affect them, but it affected family. And when you're making decisions that bleed into your family and fuck up the family structure, you have to own that shit. Which is again why I say us as men have to teach our young girls to not get pregnant by every dick that they ride. I got an aunt named Ruth. Me and her talk. I can tell her anything. I can tell her how I feel, and she will accept it, and she won't tell anybody a damn thing. She's like got the trapdoor steel trap mind. And I've always told her that if I had a daughter, you know, I know that I can't stop her from fucking. But I can prepare her ass for whatever dick she decides to put within her, not to get knocked up by the bionic little bastards that are doing that dumb shit. You know, you will never, ever, ever be able to prevent your daughter from having sex with a man, unless, by the grace of God, your daughter's a lesbian. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I love lesbians. If I have a lesbian daughter, I'm like totally okay with that. If I have a gay son, I'm have to be totally okay with it because that does not change the fact that he is my son. You have to be fair with your children. You can't have favoritism. You have to be right. To raise new people, to bring in new lives into this world, you have to be right and you have to be fair. And as men, we do not treat our daughters the same as we treat our sons. And then when they get like old enough to have sex, we watch them like fucking hawks, you know, to make sure that they don't fuck up. But you have to have trust. So I'm gonna do the one thing that most men don't do. I'm going to trust her. If I have a daughter, I'm going to trust her. I'm going to fill her with as much knowledge as I can, and I'm going to tell her, look, babe, you're my daughter. I love you. Don't disappoint me, but don't fuck up your life. I'm going to tell her straight, you know, from the moment she starts developing breast buds, the talk is on. She's going to talk with me, she's going to talk with her mom. When it gets down to the nitty-gritty of shit, that's her mom's job. Period. Unless her mom's not in her life and I'm raising her by myself, then it's my job. I'm going to get every motherfucking sexual book I can find, slap that shit right down in front of her and myself, and we're going to read that shit together. And by read that shit together, I mostly mean I'm going to make her read that shit because it's her fucking body. She'll need to know more about it than I will because I don't have her body. I would never really truly be able to experience the shit with her. I wouldn't be able to explain it to her. But I do have sisters. So, I also have nieces. There you go. There's always another way to establish it. But I want my daughter to grow up healthy and strong and to not have any children before she's 25. That way she has time to have lived her life. I never got the chance to live a life. So at 43, 44, I need to get to working right now. If I want to have a kid, I need to get into it like right now. Because at 60, I already have a hip replacement. I'll probably have the other one by the time I'm 60. I need to be in enough shape that I can beat little dudes up that come through my door. Or I can use this bow and arrow. Like, as soon as they come to the door, whiz one by their head, you know, or through their legs, annoying, stick it right at the door. Why you have that target right there? Oh, that's just stand right there. You'll be fine. You know. But as a man, I have promised myself this. If I only have one child, and it is a girl, I will love her regardless. I won't try to change her nature. I won't like force her into being a lesbian. I won't force her into like sucking dicks and shit. If that's what she wants to do, there's nothing I can do to change it. But I will do this. I will be open and honest with her from the day she can walk. Also, from the day she can walk, she'll be learning Kung Fu. Whether she wants to or not, that's not going to be an option. She's going to learn Kung Fu until she's 18. After she's 18, she can do whatever the fuck she wants. But I'm going to raise a champion. I'm going to raise a genuine, calm, demeanored, martial art female badass. And if I have a son, same concept. I'm going to teach him how to treat women properly. I'm going to treat him the way I should have been treated as a child. I'm going to make sure that I don't make the mistakes my parents made because I have prepared myself for this for a long time. Now, I don't give a crap, like I told somebody earlier today, as long as the good Lord doesn't curse me with twins or bless me with twins, and if I have twins, I don't want them to be different genders. I want them to be the same gender. I don't want any problems later in life, because I've read about some things like that where one twin might be born with the wrong gender and all kinds of other shit can go wrong. Now, we're not going to jump that far ahead, but, you know, I want to raise my children properly. And like I said to my aunt, I can't stop my daughter from having sex. That will never be a possibility. There's not enough words that you can tell your child, especially a female child when you're a man, to not have sex with someone. Because they'll throw that shit back at you. Well, you had sex with mom. You know, they'll constantly throw that shit back at you. And I've seen that done also. So, you know, you have to talk to a person on their level. And most people will never really be on my level because I'm like Carlos Santana. I gotta wait for y'all to catch up with me. I'm just poor. That's the only difference between me and everybody else. I'm poor. Had I had the resources to have now, everyone would know me and YouTube would be knocking down my door to make sure that I'm with them. Well, I'm with you, YouTube, because you're the only outlet I really have, and I don't think I want to go anywhere else because I really like YouTube. I really love YouTube. I wish they would give me a real job, but hey, it is what it is. I only have 21 followers, 21 great followers, and I'm pretty sure that out of the 21 followers, maybe only one of them might be a woman. Maybe. I don't really know, and if you are, hey, you know the drill. So I'm gonna finish this by putting this as honest as possible, so that I don't have to make another integrity check video for you guys. If we teach our young daughters from the time that they hang with their crazy friends or their friends who aren't into Girl Scouting or stuff like that, if you have a tomboy, you have a better chance of her not getting pregnant at an early age. But if you have a girly girl, you don't want to change anything about her, but you want to prepare her. I would hope that if I have a girl, I would have a tomboy so that I can make her as tough as nails, get her into fighting, make her beat up boys. Like literally, like when I was a kid, we're gonna go down the street and you're gonna beat that boy up right there. But Daddy, no, you're going to beat that boy up right there. Yeah, I know that sounds really bad. Being that I was bullied as a kid, that sounds like completely bad. But it just be sanctioned. I'll get the kids' parents on board so that they can learn how to fight together. I'll be the martial art teacher, being that I am a martial artist. So, I'll make sure no one gets hurt. First sign of blood, fight's over. But, you gotta prepare them. I would hate to have my daughter be the victim of a rape. So I have to make sure that that shit doesn't happen when I'm teaching her how to do that lightning fast. Block, hit, punch, block, break, punch. By teaching her how to defend herself or to kick ass. Let's not sugarcoat it. Two sides to that defending yourself crap. By teaching her that, I have a better chance of making sure that she makes it out in one piece. And in the event that a person has a gun, I will teach her that. I will teach her how to disarm a person. I will teach her how to disarm a person with a knife. Because if you think that you can't, then you won't. And if you don't won't, then you won't succeed. So I'm going to end this with this. For all you young men out here making babies and not really willing to be a daddy. That's what the fuck these are for. Don't go in raw or use your tongue. If you want to go in raw, use your tongue. That'll save you a lot of problems. Alright? Finally, as I end this, for all you young ladies who don't have a dad in your life, I lost my dad recently. It wasn't as recent as like yesterday, but it was still recently, and the wounds have never healed. So I'm going to tell you this, alright? Just because no one else probably has the balls to tell you this. Just because your dad is not in your life, don't mean that dick that you're riding is a substitute. Do not get pregnant to have a child because you didn't have a daddy in your life or you didn't have a mommy in your life to make you feel like you were loved. I'm 43 years old. I haven't always felt love from my mom. But I also had the coherency to not go out and knock every broad up that throws pussy to me a baby because I need to love someone the way I should have been loved. That is not an excuse to get pregnant. That is not an excuse for you to go and get knocked up by some asshat who doesn't want to have a baby but just wants to have sex with you. 9 times out of 10, those are going to be the guys that you young women get pregnant by. The ones who don't want to have babies with you. They just want to fuck. You need to know this going in. I don't know why parents and teachers and them aren't allowed to give you this in your curriculum of sex education. And they need to give it to boys too. Some girls don't want to fuck. They want babies. Those are the girls that until you get your life together, I'm sorry for being blunt, those are the girls you need to fucking avoid. A girl who sees you and says, "You're going to have my baby?" Like, right now? Yeah. You should probably run. You should probably run. And I know you're thinking, but James, that's pussy. It's good pussy. It's going to be given to me. It's a sure fucking thing. Yep. It is a sure fucking thing that in 9 months, you're sure as hell going to wish that you listened to me. And now you're a daddy. You got to understand something. I'm going to go ahead and make a 4th video of this for you young ladies. I'm sorry. This wasn't supposed to happen. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just going to go until I'm finished. So it'll probably be 20 minutes. So this will be definitely the final video. I'm sorry for that interruption. A lot of you women need to understand. Men are stupid. Alright? When we need to think with this head, we generally think with this one. When we need to think with this head, we generally think with this one. So, you, being scientifically proven y'all are supposed to be superior in brain power, if not anything else, and pain threshold, you need to be the thinking one in the relationship. Now, I ain't saying you need to be the stuck up boss B, you know, but you need to be the thinking one in the relationship. If you know for a fact that this is a good man, he might make a great daddy. That doesn't mean he will be a great daddy. It means he might. The word might is not a definite. Might is a question. It is a big question mark, not an explanation point. And you need to know the difference. You need to know the difference because right baby, right man, good life. Right baby, wrong man, bad life. And if you're not taught this shit before you're 10 years old, you will fuck your life up. And yes, 10-year-olds are capable of producing children. I've read about it, I've heard about it, I haven't seen it, thank God, but I have read about it and I have heard about it in the newspapers and shit like that. No one wants their 10-year-old daughter to be a mother. I definitely wouldn't want my 10-year-old daughter to be a mother. I wouldn't want my 10-year-old daughter to be forced to carry a rape baby or any of that, and that shit does happen too. I've read about that also. So we as men need to teach you, our young women, our daughters, our great-granddaughters to be the right fucking thing to do. Now, let me be hypocritical real quick. There's nothing wrong with having sex, as long as it's safe sex. Now, I'm not saying that you should bend over backwards and give your boyfriend and his friends an orgy because you love him and he says so. That shit's not love on his end, dear. That's him using your love against you. So if you have a boyfriend and you're serious with him but he's not serious with you, and he goes, baby, if you love me, you will let my friends fuck you too. You just got fucked. Twice. By him and by yourself if you actually agree to do that. Now, if you're around the way, girl, and you like being, politely putting, if you like being a loose woman and you like dick, like all type of dick, first off, don't get a boyfriend. Because you can never keep one boyfriend, especially if you find one of those nice guys that just can't fuck like you can fuck. So don't get a boyfriend. If you're a nympho, there's nothing wrong with it, but you want a boy that can keep up with you because you don't want to wander through the relationship and go into other people's relationships. You don't want that shit. What you want is a sex partner with no strings attached. And the question is, can you cut off the strings yourself so that you don't catch feelings for these people? You don't want to be in a you are not the father situation. And again, this is a lack of fathership to daughters. It really is. It is also a lack of daughters not listening to their mothers when they're like, well, your daddy, we had sex, and honestly, I didn't want to get pregnant by him, but I fucked up. And a lot of young women don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear it. They want to ram their heads as far up their vaginas as they possibly can until they can rip that wall between your ass and your vagina. And then you can find out the hard way that mommy wasn't fucking lying. If we don't teach our daughters how to know the difference between fucking with fucking sex and love sex, there really isn't a lot of difference. It's a real thin line. But you gotta know this man that you with. You have to know that this is the one that's going to be there every day for 18 years with this kid that you're bringing into this world. You don't have that guarantee. And just because he said it out of his mouth doesn't make it 1,000% true. Doesn't make it not true either. But that's the chance you take. So I would implore you as I close this out, because we're about to hit the 20-minute mark. I'm going to close this out. But I will implore you, if you're going to have sex, make sure it's safe sex. No matter what that motherfucker says. If he's not going to put a ring on your finger, I would recommend you going out and babying his ass up. You know, I wouldn't tell you for a New York minute to let him put a baby inside you. Because that could be the fatalest mistake that you have ever done. Times ain't simple no more. Times are about to get even more interesting now with political affiliation and shit like that. And we all need to have our P's and Q's together. All of us. You young ladies getting pregnant to keep a man, cut that shit out. Cut that shit out right now. You dudes knocking up chicks accidentally, cut that shit out, yo. Cut that shit the fuck out. You don't want to be a daddy? Well, here's the thing. The P in pussy stands for parent or problem. Ladies, the P in pussy also stands for prison if the dude is raping you. Now, men, the P in pussy stands for prison also if you're doing something incredibly wrong, like statutory or doing some shit where she says stop. You need to stop. You need to respect the stop. I will make a video about respecting the stop. I'm James Williams, and you just come for number 2. And please, young men, teach your little girls to respect themselves enough to know do not get pregnant to keep a man. Rule number 1 is if you're going to have sex, have safe sex. And under no circumstances whatsoever do you get knocked the fuck up to keep that bastard. Someone better will come along. And they don't want his child. They don't want to have to raise his child. Now, you might get a damn good guy that's willing to do that. You might not. You don't want to know which side of that track you're going to fall on when it happens. So please, young fathers, old fathers, young daughters, old daughters, hear me out. I'm not saying this because I'm a dick bag douche tip, or a douche tip full of dick bags, or a douche bag full of dick tips. I'm not saying that for that. I'm saying it because it's 1,000% true. If you're going to have a baby to protect yourself or carry on and you're going to get married, okay, fine. But if you're going to have a baby to keep a man, make sure you're already married to him first. If that is like a last-ditch effort, then your marriage wasn't solid to begin with, especially if y'all are married and neither one of you bring up having children. That should probably be the first topic before y'all actually tie the knives. Like, so do you want to have children? Do you don't want to have children? Or you want to go as far as we can go and see what happens, which is never a good deal. You need to know from the jump if you're going to get into a marriage, no, I don't want to have kids. And if she feels the same way, you're good. Now, that doesn't mean that it won't happen. It just means, well, you don't want to have kids. Now, if she wants to have kids and you don't want to have kids, y'all really need to sit down and talk to see how far your relationship is really going to go. And vice versa. If he wants to have children and you don't want to have children, y'all really need to sit down to see how far you're going to go. And I'm going to put this out there. You know, one, if you can't give your man a child, that's a totally different story that I can't really touch because I'm not a female, so I can't really adjust or adapt or explain that shit. But if you tell your man, look, I would love to give you a child, but my body can't. You know, I found out as a young girl that I would never be able to have children. And that happens more often than you think. And most of the time it's a genetic flaw in their genes. And sometimes it's just maybe they fell off a horse or had an accident. You know, something could have done damage to them when they were a kid that could have prevented them from ever having a children. They could have got cervical cancer. They could have got anything. No one's guaranteed a prosperable life with having a child. But having a child is one of the women's rites of passage. As a men, we need to understand this. And we need to teach our daughters that it is a rite of passage. But you need to know when you're going to have the right to pass that rite of passage. You don't want to just have children just to have something to do. You know, that's not a cool rite of passage for that. So, be careful on what we do. Teach our young girls, teach our young boys, and maybe, just maybe, we can save the world. I'm James Williams. You just come for number 2. Be seeing you. Where's the damn cursor?